Steph Curry is the only NBA player that can pull this off. Be honest, even before you saw that clip, you knew whatever I was talking about would be some kind of wild shot. But if I said only LeBron can do this, you're not sure, as it could be a dunk or a chase down block. But more importantly, whatever it is, it would be debatable. The same applies to every superstar, from Michael Jordan to Anthony Edwards. But when it comes to Curry, we all know it's shooting, and we all know it's not debatable. So, what does this mean for opposing teams? Well, it usually means 3 to 5 defenders swarm him just because he's breathing near the ball.
3 guys defending him. Wow. They're basically saying, give the ball up. We're not going to overreact to anybody else making plays.
Why don't other superstars get such attention? And what label are we giving Steph Curry for who he is? But before we go further into Curry and who he is, let's talk about you and how you can profit from the game you love with Kalshi. 'Cause if you think you've got an edge on what's coming next, we are partnering with Kalshi, and they turn your predictions into possibilities. It's the first CFTC regulated exchange where you can trade yes-no event contracts on real-world questions, from inflation to major legislation to the next big breakout in entertainment. We all know Nikola Jokić is back to form even after his injury. His value to the Nuggets is unmatched. Like, if I wanted to trade for Nikola Jokić to be the MVP this year, I just go to my Kalshi app, navigate to the NBA awards, select the yes-no event for NBA MVP, place my trade amount, enter my birthday, and complete sign-up. And then, when the Joker wins, I get paid. Everyone has something they follow closely, whether it's markets, sports, politics, or pop culture. You do the research, you follow the trends, and you trust your instincts. Kalshi gives you a way to put that knowledge to work. Let's say you're convinced the Fed will raise rates, or you've got a gut feeling about who's taking Game 7 of the NBA Finals. On Kalshi, you can trade on those insights, turning your opinions into outcomes. And just like the NBA brings that tip-off to buzzer-beater intensity, Kalshi brings that same thrill to your insight. You're not sitting on the sidelines with an opinion, you're in the game. Over 1 million users have already joined, with more than $2 billion traded, and it's completely legal and regulated in all 50 states. These are real money markets where people like you are trading on what they believe will happen. And here's what makes Kalshi stand out. It even pays interest on long-term positions, meaning you can earn while you wait for an outcome to play out. Join Kalshi, the marketplace for people who don't just cheer from the stands, they trade what's next. Your prediction, your contract, your move. Head to Kalshi.com/hoopers and get $20 when you trade $20. Turn your "I've got a feeling" into action today. A huge shout out to Kalshi for partnering with us. Let me know in the comments what you traded and if you think your trade can win.
Time is on it. Bumped Curry, 3.
Every elite superstar in the NBA forces defenses to react. Players like Luka Dončić, Nikola Jokić, LeBron James, and Giannis Antetokounmpo all command heavy defensive attention because of how dominant they are with the ball in their hands. Defenses send double teams at Luka in pick and roll situations because of his scoring and playmaking. Jokić is constantly doubled in the post because of his ability to score or find open teammates. LeBron draws heavy defenders every time he drives into the paint, and Giannis forces entire defensive walls to form just to slow him down in transition. This is what high-level offense looks like in the NBA. The defense reacts, rotates, and tries to contain the damage. But the key difference is that defenses are still operating within a structure when facing these players. The help rotations are planned, the coverage is intentional, and the goal is to limit efficiency while maintaining control of the floor. Against Steph Curry, that structure does not hold. This is why even against some of the biggest names in basketball, Curry seems to be on another level of unguardable.
Kobe, Kyrie, Steph, or D-Rose? Who harder to guard?
But out of them, Steph.
Now he wide open. And it was like, he not gonna let me, my gift doesn't work with him.
That is the separation. Other superstars force defenses to adjust, but Steph Curry forces defenses into situations where their usual rules and skills don't work. And it's not just the superstars. Even the greatest shooters ever don't make opponents feel like that. The NBA has seen great shooters before, and it still has elite shooters today. Players like Ray Allen, Klay Thompson, and Damian Lillard have all proven that they can stretch defenses with their range and shot-making ability. They can hit contested shots, they can shoot from deep, and they can carry an offense for long stretches. But even at their peak, defenses did not completely abandon structure against them. Ray Allen was one of the greatest movement shooters in league history, but defenses still tracked with him within a system. Klay Thompson is one of the most efficient catch-and-shoot players ever, yet his impact depends on the offense creating open looks for him. Damian Lillard has extended range and can pull up from well beyond the arc, but he needs the ball in his hands. And that's just it. These players are dangerous because of what they do with the ball. But Steph Curry is dangerous even when he does not have the ball. Most players need the ball to cross people up, but not Curry. And by the time the ball comes, the defense is already compromised. But it's not only that. While most players rely on timing and positioning within a play, Curry creates his own openings by constantly moving, cutting, and repositioning in ways that force defenders to make split-second decisions over and over again. This is why opponents describe playing against him as hell, and we watched a player almost die guarding him. Now, you can only imagine how much time and space his teammates get. And speaking of teammates, why don't you join our YouTube community? We've got more than just NBA videos for you. So don't watch, be a part of it. Join our membership today and get early access to videos and level up with discounted merch. Alright, let's get back to Steph Curry. Nowadays, the word gravity is some kind of buzzword fans throw around when talking about their favorite players. But in Curry's case, it is something you can see on every possession. Curry consistently leads the league in gravity metrics, especially off the ball, and the numbers show a gap between him and every other player. But if you still don't fancy that, watch this.
He gets held and grabbed more than anybody in the league, and because the officials are looking a lot at on the ball traffic, they don't see everything that's going on off the
Steph
ball.
just walked into the vomitory pretending he's going to the locker room to see if Colin Sexton was going to follow him.
He did.
Curry is being grabbed, held, and followed everywhere he goes. And get this, all that is happening while he's off the ball. That is not normal. That is not a defensive scheme working as intended. And this is what separates Curry from every other superstar. Even from Michael Jordan's logic, Curry is in a stratosphere of his own.
Well, that's the highest respect that you can ever get if a team feels like they got to double team you.
According to the GOAT, the highest respect is when teams feel the need to double you. So, what do you say about a man who not only gets doubled and triple teamed, but gets grabbed and followed off the court while he's not with the ball? They are tracking him through screens, chasing him in transition, and staying attached even when it puts them out of position. And that creates a chain reaction. One defender overcommits, which forces another to rotate early. That early rotation leaves someone else open, and now the entire structure is compromised before the offense even makes its move. At that point, the defense starts playing with fear, which is when the game completely breaks. It does not matter what version of the Warriors you're watching, what stage of the season it is, or even how strong the roster is around him. the reaction from the defense stays the same. Curry continues to draw multiple defenders, continues to shift entire coverages, and continues to dictate how the game is played without needing to dominate the ball. That is what makes this different from every other superstar.
You know, those early 2000s, so we only got to see glimpses. But when he caught fire, man, everybody was on notice.
Not only was everyone on notice, no one could really explain what they were witnessing. Take, for example, French international Nick Batum's words when talking about the Olympics.
When something bad happened to you, you don't want to watch it. You don't. But I look at that play again and like, how did he do it? Like, how did he pull that off?
This is not just about effort or execution. It is about dealing with something that does not follow normal patterns. Curry's presence forces defenders to overthink, to react early, and to abandon structure in ways they normally would not. That is why you see multiple players drifting toward him, even when it leaves other areas of the floor exposed. At that point, the defense is no longer operating with discipline. It is trying to recover from a situation that was already compromised before the play fully developed. And all of this simply explains what it means to be the best shooter for a decade. Steph is the only NBA superstar we can label with that. And the level of influence he has exists outside of the usual categories we use to describe great players. There are other superstars in the NBA who dominate the ball and force defenses to react. There are shooters who can stretch the floor and hit difficult shots. There are even players who can carry entire offenses under heavy defensive pressure. But none of them create the same kind of impact that Steph Curry does. He has been the best shooter for over a decade, and ever since, basketball has never been the same. He's the only player who consistently forces entire defenses to abandon their structure, not just when he has the ball, but for as long as he's alive. Steph Curry is the only player in NBA history we can honestly say this about. And if you think there's someone else, I'll be glad to hear it in the comments. But if you want to see that impact on the international stage, watch what NBA players say about Steph's first Olympics being better than MJ's shot against Utah next.